Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the 22nd day of this Advent 10-minute portrait series. It's so nice to have you here. Linda, Annette, Kiki, Imola, Lisbeth, Louisa, Ike, Reba, Maria. It's so nice to have you here. We have a very wonderful reference to draw from here. Samar Al-Zaidi. I have a workshop happening in half an hour, so I'm going to try and see what I can do within this 10-minute time frame. All through this month, we have been doing 10-minute portraits. Some of them have been a bit longer. Through the darkness, coming towards the light, the return of the light at the solstice, and I felt like this image was really a beautiful representation of that idea. And I've been really blessed to be in contact with Samar, and I'm really looking forward to working on your portrait. I don't know if you'll get to see this live stream or replay, but if you are, then thank you so much. The whole gang, hi June, Gabriela. And yeah, my workshop is starting in under half an hour. You can still join if you want at dylansara.com. It's going to be illumination themed, and we'll be spending an hour and a half to 2 hours together on the topic of illumination. It's like the high point of this Advent series, this workshop, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, I have my magenta polychromos pencil here. I also would like to introduce Samar. You can all start drawing. We met through the Kanyo group chat. Most of the people we have drawn this month have been from the Kanyo community. And Samar Al-Zaidi is an Iraqi artist, and she was born in Baghdad in 1990 and has loved drawing since childhood. And her father, Zaid Al-Zaidi, discovered this talent in her. Also, her father was a student of the artist Faik Hassan. Every creativity has difficulties imposed by reality. She was deaf, which made her enter an institute for the deaf and mute in Baghdad. Due to the circumstances of the war in 2003, she left the institute after reaching middle school and devoted herself to drawing. She learned the art of ceramics at an institute in Erbil and has served several successful works in 2023. She started drawing with watercolors since 2015 and was impressed by their transparency of the watercolors and their magnificence. And I was so moved by this exchange and felt like it fit so beautifully to the idea today of finding light in the time of darkness. And I think this is really perfect. And have been looking forward all month to working on this portrait. So thank you, Samar. And let's see what the next 10 minutes brings. Alyssa's going to be trying this one in watercolor. We wish you luck. Good luck, good luck. Follow Samar on Instagram here, me here. And I've also found Samar's father today. Zaid Al-Zaidi is also on Instagram, and it's been really beautiful to see their work. So everyone go check them out, follow them, and enjoy the watercolor works. Okay, so 10 minutes. Let's go. So, and this is really interesting that the highlight is not actually in the portrait in this piece. It's just here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that information, but that's what I'm seeing. And yeah, this really, I feel like this piece and the whole process, this whole month of drawing together has led really nicely to this idea of the return of the light at the solstice in the darkness. And we've been exploring that theme through portraiture and by spending time together and creating together. And I feel like visually this is just such a perfect reference photo for that sentiment. And I'm really happy to be able to work on it together with all of you. Imola is also going to do it with watercolor. I'm impressed. I'm sure at some time I will do watercolor 10-minute portrait live streams, and we can all use whatever we want. But I look forward to becoming a bit bolder with my watercolor sketching. It's something that I feel like I could benefit from some boldness with my watercolors. So I'll be joining you someday. Yeah. Okay, so we've got this really cool shadow shape coming up the side here. Squinting helps a lot. And maybe we'll get in a bit closer for the portrait. How's everyone doing? You can raise your hand if you're going to be at the workshop, which is starting very soon, which I'm really looking forward to. The workshop series has been really very fulfilling, I have found. I hope the participants have also found it to be so. Yeah, it's been such a lovely way to share time and to teach. I have enjoyed it a lot. So thank you to everyone who has been coming along and making them happen. The whole day, the whole month, our whole lives have led to this moment, working on Samar's portrait. And I'm curious how I'll go with this idea of the light in this piece. I've been looking forward to it all month and hoping that there's all these patterns in the background, which I would love to work on, but I will not in this time frame. That's an important thing to realize when you're working with any kind of constraints, to be aware of what restrictions are imposed upon you. And if you have an incredibly complex background, for example, but realize with the restrictions imposed upon me, whether by yourself or by external circumstances, just to be able to make decisions, to be able to work with what you have. And I will not be doing any of the background detail, though it is wonderful. And I hope someday to return to this reference and perhaps to a more in-depth piece. So I've been working a lot with ink, so I will do some more ink. We're about 4 minutes in. This time, perhaps, I will go just with my inky water, which is left over here. And the inky brush is still very inky, so even though I didn't dip this into ink, it's still very dark. Yeah, I would love to sketch more, be more bold with watercolor, and it's interesting though. I've spent a lot of time working with ink, which can only be, well, it can be worked with subtly, but it's a very kind of bold choice of material. But somehow when I work with watercolor, I find myself not being quite as bold as I know I can be with ink. And I guess every media has its kind of certain way it invites you to be with it. And I've found a way to be bold with ink, and I would like to discover that with watercolor as well. Maybe one day. What do you wish, Louisa? I'm just seeing your comment, and I'm not sure what you're referring to. All right, I have my red ink here. It's interesting. I have noticed hosting many a drawing session that often when people are really concentrating on something, they get quiet. And I've also noticed that I talk a lot when I'm doing these live streams, which is okay, I hope. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be pre-recording some of these sketches because I will not be able to be online on the 24th. or maybe the 25th. I'm not entirely sure yet. So I'll be pre-recording some, and I've been wondering what do I do when I don't have my live audience to talk to. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will address them. And I'm thinking for the 24th, because it is the day that traditionally, the last 5 years, every Tuesday I have hosted a portrait sketch session, even before I was hosting them online. And this is going to be the first Tuesday ever that I miss, because we will be with Kira's family, celebrating together, enjoying each other's company. And I'm afraid this coming Tuesday will be the first Tuesday, maybe the last, who knows, or the last in 7 years, that, I don't know, this was a bold choice, but maybe not the wisest. I wanted to get darker, so I could get closer to what I'm seeing in the light relationship here, but what am I doing? Tuesday I was thinking about pre-recording a multi-portrait sketch session. So for those who would like to have something to draw on Tuesday, and those who perhaps would like to attend the regular session, which won't be happening, that it will kind of be a little bit of both in a pre-recorded video that I'll be sharing here on YouTube. That's okay. I had this what am I doing moment as I darkened the light side of the face, but I think it's going to be okay. This needs some time to dry, so we can keep working over it, but getting everything darker really contributes to the light quality that is happening here. And I think I'm going to draw with the pencil so I don't have things bleeding, that the ink doesn't go places where I don't want it to, and re-establish some of the drawing and some of the shadow shape, which now is very indistinct. This is really a wonderful reference photo. Thank you again, Samar, for sharing it with us and the Kenyo community. I hope that many of you will share your work in the Discord server. I put the link in the chat. I'll put it in again once we're done, because that has been the most wonderful way to see people's work. And it's really dedicated to the conversation is dedicated to what we've been doing here together. And it's nice, high resolution, and yeah, it's been really cool. So I'd love to see you sharing there. All right, 15 minutes until my workshop starts, which you can still sign up to. I'll check my emails, tell me in the chat if you do, and then I'll make sure I send you the link so we can be there together very soon. This needs to dry in a relatively tight time frame. All right, that was 10 minutes. And my paper, though it is watercolor paper, it's quite warped. How's everyone doing? I'll get a 10-minute process shot, but I would definitely spend more time. Reba just signed up. Then I will send you a link in the next 15 minutes so that we can hang out together. So yeah, we'll be drawing together for between 1.5 to 2 hours, and I have really wonderful reference, which is quite dark, but the sense of illumination, the light in the references that I've chosen are really it's really exciting. I printed out the reference images, and my 11-year-old saw them and was like, "Are you going to draw that? That looks so cool." So I'm really looking forward to working on it and being able to show him tomorrow morning. And one of them is of Nazarena, who we sketched earlier in the month. And I feel like it would probably be wise for me now to leave this as it is. And once it dries, and once I don't have a workshop starting in a few minutes, I will dedicate a bit more time to it. But I'm pretty happy with it feels like a strong start. Yeah, and I've enjoyed the process and really enjoyed having all of you here. So be sure to, when you're sharing your work, if on Instagram, to tag myself and Samar. We would love to see your work, and I will put the Discord server link in the chat again in case you can't see it because it was the first comment. Can people see the first comment in the chat if you scroll back up, or do you only see what was posted since you've been here? All right, there is the link. So you can come to the Discord server, and in the daily reference chat, I will also be posting daily reference there when we're not doing the live stream series, which is going to be really exciting. And yeah, it's a place to hang out, share art, share inspiration, connect with each other, and encourage each other and learn and grow together. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you've done. Yeah. Thank you, Linda, for being here. Thank you, everyone. You can say goodbye in the chat. Tell us how you're doing, if you're going to spend more time, if you feel like you're finished, if you want to start again. And everyone be sure to go check out Samar's work on Instagram. If there's not a lot of chat, you can scroll up. Thank you, Louisa, for that information. Yeah, thank you for being here. And especially thank you to our wonderful muse. And I look forward to drawing with you again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be at 9 Central European Time, which is half an hour later than we started today, 12 minutes from now. So come here and let's draw together again tomorrow. You're all wonderful, and I really appreciate you being here and creating together. And yeah, enjoy this hopefully quiet, introspective time of year if you're in a position to be able to enjoy it in that way, which I would wish for everyone, but it's not always the case. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you again.